Yes.
I need to pick some music to listen to while we talk.
I'm listening to Corey Wong.
Yeah, for some reason he's loaded up on mine as well. No, I'll put it on. Fine. I'll do this with you.
Beautiful thing.
There's you. Right. I guess we'll just crack on and
Roger Dodger.
Smash out a podcast.
Initiating podcast now. Hello and
When?
welcome to the JfG podcast. This is episode 265. My name is Alex and I'm joined, as ever, by my good friend Ash. Hey, buddy. How are you doing this cold November evening?
Oh, yes, it's lovely and cold and dark. The winter nights are setting in. Everyone's got their Christmas lights up now.
Really?
Quite a few people have got their Christmas lights up early this year, just because
no one's got anything to do.
No one's got anything to do, and also it's a bit shit this year. I don't know if you've heard about it. You know, it's been a bit wank.
I don't know anything about that.
No. So yeah, Christmas lights are going up early. Not in this house. I've still got work to do in one of the rooms. Did I mention that last time? I can't remember how I was crawling under the floorboards and laying cables and replacing joists and stuff. I can't remember if I ever went into that.
Yeah, it was either the last show or the one before that you mentioned that. Yeah,
that's nearly finished now. I painted all the walls over the weekend and stuff like that, so they're all painted. Painted all the skirting ready to go back on. I'm laying the new laminate flooring. Friday, I think I'm doing that, and then that room is done, ready for my new TV, buddy.
Oh shit! Look at this big boy with his big boy pants on. What's going on here?
I mean, last time we spoke on the pod, we came to the conclusion that I should buy a PlayStation 5 before buying a new TV.
We did.
My wife didn't agree with that. She wanted the TV first, so I was like, fine, we'll get the TV first.
Well, I suppose the benefit also is that the TV is something you literally can actually buy, whereas of course the PS5, regardless of the fact that it's launching this week, is something that you can't buy. So
apparently there's going to be more stock tomorrow, aka the 19th, the day it is released.
A wiser man once said, buddy, I believe that when my shit turns purple and tastes like rainbow sherbet. So,
yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've got some lovely beer froth on the old mustache. The mustache is coming on good right now.
Very nice. Yeah, lovely stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the TV, mate. Yeah, so I bought a new TV. 4K, buddy. I'm there now. 49 inches, because I didn't want to go too large. I mean, it's a bit overkill, I think, some of these TVs, and it's got to fit on my chimney breast.
Yeah, and it'd look mental if it was gigantic as well.
Yeah, exactly. But hey ho, whatever you want. If you want a big telly, you go nuts for it, buddy.
Yeah.
Not you. I'm talking to the general population that listens to this podcast.
It depends on the size of your room as to how ridiculous a giant television is.
True. Yeah, exactly. One added bonus of this television is it's also got HDMI 2.1, buddy.
Oh, so, the grail.
I can do 4K 120 if anything ever runs at that. Apparently, stuff does, though, on the Series X already.
Yeah, they've been peddling. Certainly, I know that was a target frame rate for Ori. Yeah, I heard 2D stuff should be able to, shouldn't it, really?
Apparently, Modern Warfare runs at 4K 120. I have a feeling that it looks proper dog shit, but, you know.
Don't know. Yeah.
It runs at 4K 120 on the Series X. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm fucking ready for the next generation of console, or aka this generation, because they're out already. They're in the world right now.
Yeah, Series S and X are out. Of course, you can't buy any. PlayStation comes out, as we're recording this, comes out tomorrow, doesn't it?
Tomorrow.
Although
Yeah.
you can't buy any. So
No.
yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, I'm gonna I'll hopefully be using it on game night. I'll get my steering wheel as close as I fucking can to that thing, to try out some F1 on a big screen.
Nice, man.
I'm looking
At least
forward
you've got
to.
the Pro, so you are going to see some benefits that are
You see,
sort of standard
Hey,
console peasants such as
I'm
myself.
gonna find out what this HDR is all about. What's that all about?
Oh yeah,
Don't even know. But yeah.
yeah. I must admit, I disconnected my VR a couple of weeks ago because we've been packing the place up, and I have been really enjoying the HDR. I couldn't be bothered to keep plugging it and unplugging it all the time.
Yeah.
But I've got the original VR that basically stops HDR from working.
It fucks you, really.
Yeah.
It fucks you.
You can address it with like a breakout box, like an HDMI switcher or something like that.
Yeah.
But which I probably will end up doing at this point because everything looks much nicer with even my shitty LCD TV with its like HDR. I don't know what it is, 10, I guess. It still looks the business. So yeah, I've no doubt you're gonna have a fucking lovely time with that, buddy. It's gonna be sweet as a punch.
And if anyone's thinking, oh shit, he's spunked out a load of money on this thing. I mean, it was more than I wanted to pay, but it was only 570 quid.
That shows how far they've come down, doesn't it? Over the last even year or so, really. For
I went with the LG Nano Cell. I was looking into them and I was like, fucking hell, you can get one of these LG Nano cells for like 470 quid. And I think it's like the 79 model that you can get for that price. And I was like, fuck yeah. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, everywhere was saying it only does like 60 hertz or 50 hertz. I was like, no, I'm sure these TVs do 120, but it's actually the next one up, the 81 or 86 that you need to get. And I think I managed to snag a deal on the 86.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah, 570 quid. There's obviously like it's not going to be fucking amazing. I'm not expecting it to be. But compared to the TV that I've got right now down there, it is going to be amazing. And I think, I mean, we've always said that like frame rate is the thing that we kind of care more about than anything.
Much more, yeah, than resolution.
Yeah, so I thought, you know what, like it's not really within my budget, but I will quite happily spend that little extra money now to get that higher frame rate or for a higher hertz rate or whatever. And you know, it's still meant to be really good, this TV. There's just a couple of issues. I think with like the local backlight on it is really bad, but I believe you can just turn that off. So
with LGs, that's always the case. The LED local dimming on mine is atrocious. I've just turned it off on all ports. And you know, it's not something. If you've got it turned off, it's not something you ever even notice.
Exactly. I was just like,
you really fucking do if it's on. Good lord,
have it on.
Terrible.
Yeah, I saw some videos where it's just like literally a strip of light. I'm like,
it's like shining a torch on the screen when you move the magic cursor about. It's like literally shining a torch. It's just all around it. And you'll literally move like from one side of the screen to the other, and half the screen is white and half the screen is black. It's fucking dreadful. But
how do they think that's a good thing?
I think it's quite an expensive thing to do well, and they figure, you know, we need to include it, but you know, these are the sort of things you skimp on if you're paying budget prices. So, you know, it's fair enough.
So yeah, here's to next generation gaming, buddy. I'm ready.
Nice, buddy. Very nice too. And as you say, rumors circulating that there will be stock available tomorrow for PS5. I'll believe it when I see it, but I'd imagine a lot of people. I mean, have they set a time, or is it like midnight?
I don't know. I'm still just gonna get it when I get it. I'm not gonna stay up till midnight and be like, oh, it's gonna hit at midnight. I will literally be like, oh, there it is. I'll have it now, thanks. I mean, it's like we've said about the lack of games and things for it. Like, yeah, I can play all my games and they'll run faster and be better and whatever. But I can wait a couple of months. I'm not in any major rush to get this thing.
No,
To be honest.
I'll probably eventually just cave in and buy one when they're readily available. But as you say, I'm not putting any legwork in because there's no killer app. There's nothing coming out on there that I really, really want. I can understand people who have been very excited for Demon's Souls, the remake. That looks
makes
fantastic,
sense.
and I totally
Does
understand
look really
why.
good, that.
Yeah, absolutely. But really, other than that, I don't think there's anything on there that that you got a lot of software coming out in March, and that looks like a good time to jump in. My opinion.
I think that's what I'm thinking. Birthday treat.
Birthday treat, end of Feb. Yeah,
End of Feb, mate.
That's probably us. I'd imagine.
That's when I mean, that's the latest I'm gonna get it. I would say.
Yeah, that battery life's not very impressive, is it? On the old DualSense, not very.
No,
not the best. But
I mean, I charge mine after every use, which is probably a bad thing, but still,
I do the same.
Don't want dead troll,
No, but 6 hours, you do well to get through a game night on one charge. That's I suppose most people don't maybe play games for 6 hours in one go. I don't know. Maybe they do.
I don't know. Early adopters, you'd think they would.
Yeah, probably. Well, either way, it's a new generation, and
right.
Yeah.
Quick question, right? So, in the next couple of months, what actual games are you wanting to play, or looking forward to, or are there
before investing in a PS5? What am I looking to play? Is that what you're asking?
Let's say if you had a PS5 now, what would you be wanting to play?
Well, in terms of games releasing for the rest of the year, it's a difficult question. If I had a PS5, then there's a few things that I'd like to pick up that ran really poorly on the PS4. Certainly, Assetto Corsa Competizione is a good example. I hear that runs 60 on the PS5. That would be enough for me to take the plunge and buy it. Cyberpunk, certainly. And if I had a PS5, I'd be interested in Valhalla, but only because I have a PS5 and there's nothing else to buy on the fucking thing. As a PS4 player, I've no interest in Assassin's Creed, but as a way of attempting to make it look like it was worth buying my new console, just like with Black Flag, I would probably buy Valhalla. That's probably where I am on it. So yeah, for me, it's as a non-PS5 gamer, there is nothing that I want before Christmas. There's nothing that I want in January, if I'm honest.
So
if I had a PS5, Sackboy is the other one. I'd want Sackboy. I think it looks cool, and the missus would get a kick out of it. So.
Yeah. So are we just going to go on a hiatus of buying games for the next couple of months, do you reckon?
I don't know. There's nothing I want that's coming out. You'll see from my list of what I've been playing, which we'll get onto shortly, that the answer is a lot, and that's because I'm a Gamepass member. So, that's providing me with a steady stream, buddy, of
nice
of new things to play about with. But yeah, in terms of, Cyberpunk, obviously, you'll remember I waited on GTA 5 back in the day. You remember that?
Did. Yeah,
I didn't play it on
No, you didn't play it on 360 at all.
No, I waited till it came out on PS4 and
had a lovely time.
I had a lovely time, and I know a lot of people were impressed and envious that I managed to hold out that long and could then enjoy it in better quality. Obviously not PC quality, still 30 fucking frames, but
love it.
So I've got previous in terms of holding out for software, and I can do it again.
Nice.
And you know that I'm talking about Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I saw the footage today of the Xbox One X version of Cyberpunk. I want to play that on a new console. I don't want to play that on a current console, if I'm honest. But obviously, if you want to pick it up, we're family sharing. It'll be on my account ready to go. Obviously, that's cool.
No, I think I'm going to I'm going to stick with you, buddy, and I'm going to withhold. I mean, it's shit news for the podcast because we won't be playing any of these new games.
No, but we've never been known for playing the most latest of software anyway. So,
as you will find out in my games that I have played this week.
But yeah, upcoming PS5 games. Obviously, that's what I'm kind of looking at now, I suppose, for the new year. And we're talking Cyberpunk, Ratchet and Clank. GT7. I quite like the look of Far Cry 6. If I'm honest, I had a real good time with 5.
You enjoyed 5, didn't you? Big
Yeah,
time.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Fuck those guys, but also, and yeah, there's other stuff like Deathloop and Hitman 3 to look forward to. But
Yes.
in terms of stuff coming out this year, no, there's nothing. And the stuff that is coming out, I want to play on the new gen rather than the current.
Yeah,
So I can wait. I can wait, man. I'm moving house in 2 days, and that's probably going to keep me busy through the rest of the year. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming down on things at the moment.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I really, really want to play Assassin's Creed, so I might have to dip my toe in on that. Mainly because of, like I said, raping and pillaging. I'm a big fan of that.
He loves it.
But the good news with that game is Ubisoft have their like new online fucking cloud saves where you can save it and play it anywhere you want. If you wanted to play it on PC, then an Xbox, then a PlayStation, you can. It's crazy.
That is nice. That is
it
good
is
news.
nice. Yeah. Well, there's a bit of news for you this week, buddy.
Yeah.
So yeah,
nice.
I might have to give that a go because it does look really nice on the new consoles, and the fact that it runs at a steady 60 as well. I'm a big fan of it just uses like the adaptive resolution or whatever they call it, which I'm fine with. I'd rather it run at 60 and dip up and down in resolution.
Totally agree. And that game, the reviews kind of hit of Valhalla today. Everyone's saying best Assassin's Creed since Black Flag. Which,
I know, right?
Pretty ringing endorsement. Black Flag was a really good game.
It's a great game.
Cool.
And it's strange. I'm actually getting that excitement about a game. And it's a game that I really didn't think I would get excited over. But I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. Go on.
It does look nice. It's a cool setting. Yeah, I'd be up for a bit of that. I'm just not that arsed on PS4 because I can wait. But yeah.
Gibbons, Bing. Yeah, I mean, we kind of jumped in, started talking about video games there. Obviously, it's this week's topic. But I need to know what you're drinking, buddy.
I'm on a Sainsbury's Classic here, buddy. It's the old American style IPA. Taste the difference. And I do taste the difference from the bottled version, which is better.
Oh.
I don't know why. I was under the impression that cans should taste better than bottles, but this one doesn't. I don't know if they've changed the recipe or what, but it's still decent, but it's certainly not the glorious beer that I'm used to enjoying out of the Taste the Difference bottles, buddy. So it's cool, though. It's okay. It's all right. I like it. And
nice.
I need to turn my fridge down because it's so cold. It's ridiculous. But yeah, what about you, buddy? What are you drinking?
Still on the homebrew, buddy, on my citrus smash. Lovely
Working
stuff.
His way through. Lovely.
Yeah, I'm over halfway through. Within 2 weeks, I was estimating it probably lasts me about 4 weeks, that brew. So
you were bang on, my friend.
Get in there. I mean, it might be 3. It depends how much I drink on game night. We'll see.
Fair play.
Could be a lot, but yeah. So on the homebrew still loving it. Beautiful
Very nice
stuff.
too. Well,
Gibbons.
with that out of the way, buddy, I suppose, as you said, the topic is video games. Let's go and talk about some. And by I mean now. Do you want to start talking about the game you've played, or shall I talk about the 6 that I've played?
I mean, start with you. I mean, we could take a break halfway through, and then I'll chuck in mine, and then we'll go from there, or whatever. Who cares? Do what you want,
that.
Mix
lovely.
It up, whatever.
The reason that I've played so many games this week is not completely, but primarily because it was announced a while ago that EA Access was going to be joining Game Pass if you're an Ultimate member, and that has happened. So the entire EA Game Pass, EA Access library has just been dumped onto Game Pass.
Nice.
And that's fucking fantastic, because say what you want about EA, but they've made a lot of games for quite some time. And there's a lot of them that, So I've been playing. Yeah, it's pretty EA heavy. The first one that I tried out was the new Need for Speed Heat.
Right, I
Which
want to know. Oh, have you tried Need for Speed Payback with a
I
steering wheel yet?
I have not, nor will I.
I mean, it's worth a go.
I mean, yeah. My experience with Game Pass is that it's well, actually, no. It was more PS Now that was a problem. I
Oh
almost said
yeah,
completely the wrong thing there. Yeah, PS
fucked it.
Now, the racing games didn't work with my
Yeah,
PlayStation steering wheel, but with
awesome.
Game Pass and my Drive Hub, I can use my PS4 steering wheel, and they do work on Game Pass games. I haven't tried
That's...
Need for Speed on a wheel, but yeah, I did play Payback, and it was shockingly bad. It was
Oh yeah, terrible
absolutely
game.
atrocious video game, mainly because it was just a graphical dog. A terrible, unskippable story, all sorts of glitches, and just a very miserable experience.
Sounds lovely. Oh
This
yeah, this is what
game,
I want to know.
this is far similar to Need for Speed 2015.
Yes,
You would definitely like this video game.
yes.
It's cool, man. It's a cool game. The city's quite decent. It drives nicely. Um, it's got a good variety of stuff, and it's quite slick and it looks good. The story is wank, but it's skippable and doesn't get too much in the way. They're just it's just Ghost Games making the same video game over and over and over again. But if you're getting it as part of a subscription, then it's probably worth. I would say it drives as nicely as Need for Speed 2015 does, and looks a whole lot better. So
Cool.
it's got this cool element where it's kind of day and night. During the day, you have proper events and stuff, and during the night, you do the illegal street races. It's got this corrupt cop element that is, completely uninteresting and rammed down your throat in a big way, but makes it interesting at least. And the cops are really aggressive. I was quite impressed with the AI in that respect. This game's fun. It's also complete crossplay, this game, so you can play it with people on PlayStation and PC, which is quite cool. I haven't tried that yet, but early impressions. I was looking for another Need for Speed 2015, and it would appear that's what I have here.
This is it. Cool. Right, I might have to pick it up when it goes in the sale.
Yeah, why not?
I do like. I really enjoyed that Need for Speed. Like after the initial learning curve of how do you drive these cars, when I got that, I was just like, I mean, we platinumed a bit. It was that much fun.
We played the hell out of that game. It was really, really enjoyable, and I think we paid £8 for it. So
I don't even think we paid that. I think we paid like £5 or £4.
It was a good game, yeah. With a terrible story.
Oh no, I loved it.
Need for Speed. So,
what do you expect? It's for the kids, isn't it?
So yeah, this thing's good. I should probably group the racing games together because I've played another one. WRC 8 World Rally Championship.
World Rally Champion.
The official World Rally game.
How was it compared to Dirt? Is it
now
Dirt?
That is the question,
Dirt.
Isn't it?
I mean, that's the other rally game I know of.
Yes.
Apart from Sega Rally.
Yeah. This game's good, and I hear that the newest one is even better.
Ooh.
I think that Dirt is a better racing experience. I think it doesn't necessarily look better though. Dirt 2 looks absolutely dog shit on the Xbox.
Nice.
I couldn't even play it on there. I was so disgusted. It's running in like some ridiculous like 850p or something, with all manner of pop-in and stuff. So yeah, Dirt plays slightly better, but there's not a massive amount in it. And what WRC has is a full-blown career management sort of thing going on, which completely surprised me. The thing it probably reminds me the most of is XCOM, where you've got your forward operating base, where you've got all your sort of different rooms with research and design and in that game, it's kind of got that Fallout Shelter thing going on, where you've got almost like a sort of theme hospital-esque isometric base of operations for like a factory, and you've got your marketing team and you've got your engineering team and so on, and it simulates all of that. You can hire and fire staff. You've got a full upgrade system. You've got an events calendar that you can pick new events for or change different factors. There's historic events and stuff. I found myself getting kind of sucked into it, if I'm honest. It's really good fun and a really good challenge. It doesn't look as good, and that's always the case with these games. They tend to be slightly sort of double A studios, I suppose it would be a nice way of putting it. But they've come a long way in a very short space of time. These have been Big Ben published for a long time, and I've always kind of said the values, the production values have been very low on a lot of those Big Ben published games. They really seem to have got there now, and WRCA is a really good option if you like your sim racing, if you like your rallying. And as I said, it makes me want to pick up WRC 9 because I've heard a lot of people say that is a superior game to Dirt. Like they've caught Cody's up, and highly recommend this. It's really fun, and it runs really nicely on the Troll as well. So that's whereas Dirt I found a real struggle on a controller. So
I played F1 on the controller this week. It was a
you did
experience. it was not enjoyable at all. But then again, we're used to the wheels, which are completely different.
Yeah, very much so. Indeed. So yeah, there you go. There's my 2 racing games out the way. Nice, early doors.
Nice.
Next, Dragon Age Inquisition. I have finally played Dragon Age Inquisition. It's been down to sub £5 on the PlayStation Store so many times in the last 5 years, and I've almost pulled the trigger so many times. Obviously, never did, and then EA Access onto Game Pass, Dragon Age Inquisition. So
save some money there, buddy.
It's really fucking great. This game's really great. It's like Skyrim mixed with like Guild Wars or something. It's got the whole RPG elements of a Skyrim. Feels a little nicer to control. It certainly looks nicer than Skyrim, and then also. It's got the sort of hotbar, the Magicka sort of hotbar system with your special powers. You've got a squad, and you can go into a squad menu almost. So you can almost go into a turn-based, because it's kind of turn-based anyway, and dice rolly. But you can go into a sort of overlooking menu where you can select your squad and say, okay, you attack them, you attack them, you attack them, and then hit go. And then you can take control of any of your characters in your team, just up and down on the D-pad to do so. It just runs really nicely, works really well. The story's compelling, like genuinely compelling. You start off coming out of this void. You've been tarnished by this energy, and you're kind of going to be executed probably, but then they take a chance on you and see if you can help close portals and stuff. And it's got all that sort of silly mythology, but the world feels really sort of full and well fleshed out.
Yeah.
The voice acting's a little subpar, but the game's getting on. So, things have come on very quickly in that respect, I think. Yeah, this is really cool, man. This is a really fun game. I like it a lot. It's really engrossing. I found myself accidentally spending like 3 hours playing it when I thought I'd only spent 1. That's usually the sign of a really good game.
Yeah, that's the sign of a game that you can quite happily play more of, really.
Yeah, and I think I probably will be. It's certainly a game that the missus enjoyed as well, and played a little bit of. And it just works really well. Like it just feels super slick. Like they tested the fuck out of it. Something that can't really be said for more recent BioWare games. I think it's fair to say. But yeah, this is cool, man. I like it. It's great.
Nice. Good, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, talking of old games, I have also been playing an old game. Borderlands 2 is the old game that I've been playing. This is, like 8 years old, I reckon. Came out on the 360 originally. So even before the last gen, it was... I mean, that's how old it is. It's 2 generations ago, this game. And I'm struggling to remember if we ever finished this game. Do you remember if we ever finished this game?
I definitely finished this game. I don't know
That's
who
what
I
I was
finished it
thinking.
with, but I absolutely definitely finished Borderlands 2, and I thought I finished
How
it
does it
with you and the
end?
funk.
Yeah. How did it end?
I can't remember.
Ideas? No, neither can I. Because I thought I've got to a bit where I thought it ended, but it didn't. It carried on. I was like, oh, okay then.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember the ending.
I can't remember this bit at all. Anyway, I have no idea what's going on in this game. It's fucking bonkers. Literally not a clue. I can't really be asked with the guns.
Oh,
Like, it annoys me that there's no way to like level up your guns. It's like, yeah, that's your gun, right? That's how much damage it does. I'm like, it could be absolutely fantastic, this gun, but like I level up a couple of levels or whatever, and then it's not doing enough damage and stuff. And it's like, I want to keep that gun because I really like it, and then trying to find a gun to replace that is incredibly annoying. And I'm struggling to think how Borderlands 3 works as like a looter shooter in that sense. Like, and they keep bringing out content, like, and there's like, what are they called, like timed events or whatever. I don't know if they are timed events, but you know, new events keep coming out for that game. I just don't know how Borderlands 3 does it. Like, it's weird. It's not like your Destinies and other looter games where you get loot and then you can keep it and upgrade it. You get the best guns and then you can make it more powerful or whatever. It's, yeah, I don't know. It's annoying me anyway.
yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, it's lovely environment, fucking hilarious, and great co-op. I mean, that in a game is going to keep me there for quite a long time, as I believe it did the first time and maybe the second time and the third time now that I think I'm playing this game. But I can't remember the ending, mate. Not a fucking Scoob.
I've certainly only completed it once.
Yeah.
I remember playing through sort of half of it a second time before bouncing off. But no, I can't remember what happens at the end.
No idea.
Not a clue.
But yeah, it's a great game, as it always has been. And yeah, I'm thinking about Borderlands 3 maybe at some point picking that up on the PlayStation and playing through that as well. But yeah, I mean, for me, games this week, it's just been that. It's the leveling up process is a bit annoying as well. Like, I was quite happily just gonna smash through the story, but it gets to a point where it's like, oh, you need to be like level 32 for this mission or recommended, and it's like, if I go in at level 30, I just get murdered. So I have to go and do a load of side quests. I'm like, okay.
You've been spoilt by sort of adaptive leveling in
Yeah,
more recent.
I guess so. I mean, yeah, like you say, because it's an old game, and you know, well, newer games do that better, I guess.
I guess at least if you've got regimented set levels, then there is a point to upgrading your equipment.
Yeah, exactly. But
whereas something like Destiny, you can get the most powerful gun you want, and it will just keep rounding up the enemies in response. Whereas with this, it's kind of set in stone. I've got this amazing gun; it will actually do masses of damage. I've got this not so good gun; it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there you go. I'm breaking up your section there, buddy.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
That's pretty much what I've played, apart from the usual.
Well, fair play. So, yeah. Well, I've got a couple of other things to talk about. The first one is Mirror's Edge.
Go on.
Again, obviously EA Play. EA Access, sorry. I played the first Mirror's Edge, a game that I've completed twice on the 360 and loved. And I really struggled with the controls.
The whole running, sliding, jumping.
Just how rolling responsive those things are, or lack of response. And I don't know if it is... I don't know what it is. I really don't know. But it annoyed the absolute fuck out of me. And I had to turn it off. because it was just really annoying. It wasn't letting me move smoothly, and I remember Mirror's Edge being a game where I could really move through the levels smoothly.
Yeah.
I think that might be a bit of a false memory I've got there, because it isn't that smooth. It's far more platformy and far less constant running a line.
Yeah.
I kind of remembered it more like almost like a Tony Hawk's line or something, and it just doesn't play like that.
I always remember the looking like left and right was very jarring.
It's very clever. You've got jump on L1 and crouch on L2, which is kind of strange. There's a lot of weird controls going on here. Anyway, what I decided to do was play the new game, which is Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Came out a few years ago. I had played a timed demo of this, but it basically was timed to the point where you could get through the tutorial and maybe half of it. And that was it.
Yeah, I remember.
And this game controls how I remember the first one controlling. So that's the way that most gamers will understand exactly what I'm talking about here. You get those rose-tinted specs on, and sometimes it's a bad idea to go back and play. Like I was talking about picking up a Dreamcast Mini, if there was ever such a thing, and you start thinking, like Trick Style, that was great, Metropolis Street Racer, Sonic Adventure, and then you play them again now, and it's like, oh no, this is very bad. So there was a little bit of that going on. Mirror's Edge Catalyst controls really well. Genuinely quite into it, actually. It's sort of open worldy, this one, but it's got kind of it used to color things red when it wanted you to go that way.
Yep.
And it'll just kind of do that on the fly based on where you are and where the objective is. And it works very well. The problem, which I think I've identified what the issue is here. So I used to have problems with an old graphics card of mine where, in fact, anyone who's had a PC that with a graphics card where they didn't have the latest drivers for it, we're talking sometime between like 1995 and 2008, and you didn't have the right drivers installed, and sometimes you would turn around and suddenly you'd get polygons not loading, artifacting, maybe the whole screen goes black when you look in a certain direction. Have you had that sort of bug before, buddy? Okay, well that's what's happening here on Mirror's Edge Catalyst on the Xbox One S.
That's awesome.
And it's not a graphical glitch in terms of there's some sort of bug or something. What's happening is the console is not loading the textures in quickly enough.
Nice.
When you run or look around.
That's helpful.
Because if you wait 5 seconds, then the world pops in. Unfortunately, this is a video game about parkour, buddy. This is a free running game.
Yeah.
And it's unplayable. This game is unplayable on
they've smashed it.
I don't know what on earth is going on there. I'm not the only one with a little shit heap.
There's a lot of them.
Lots of these. A lot of Xbox One original owners bought the One S. It's really poor, and it's very annoying, because if you ask me what game I would like to play this week, the answer is Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and I can't. It's just not playable. And it's not like they're going to patch it now, is it?
No, they won't patch that.
No.
So
there you go. It seems highly unlikely that it's just my console, and I did find other people with the problem online, so I know it isn't. So there we go.
Nice.
So finally moving on. Planet Coaster has arrived on Game Pass, because Game Pass is brilliant, and Planet Coaster is a game I've wanted to play for ages. I never wanted to play it on console because it's a strategy game and they tend to be shit on a controller. This game lets you plug a mouse and keyboard in. And
I was going to ask that.
That works perfectly. Really, really well.
Get in.
The control system's great and intuitive. But with the controller, it's pretty decent as well, although there were a couple of times in the tutorial that I sort of couldn't work out what it wanted me to do. But the most important thing to say, buddy, is this game runs really, really well on the Xbox One S.
Oh, wow.
Really well.
Okay.
It seems to be doing a sort of adaptive... it's popping textures in gradually. It's loading sort of low poly stuff and then bringing it up as you sort of move around. But it's running at a really lovely rate. It's rock solid performance. Doesn't seem to be, I just as a test, I chucked like 10 rides and a roller coaster down on the screen and then zoomed right out and moved the camera about. It still wasn't. It chugged a tiny bit, but not really.
Yeah, it was still
very
capable.
playable. Yeah, and
nice.
It's just the original theme park or Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's basically the same as those games. There's some quite nice touches with, gauging needs of people. That it's all very intuitive in terms of the financial side of things. It doesn't get in the way of the fun.
Yeah.
And there's a full-blown career mode with lots and lots of really interesting parks and loads of challenges for each one, with a sort of bronze, silver, and gold star rating, much like sort of 2 Point Hospital or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've played this. Have you ever played?
No,
Planet
I
Coaster?
haven't played Planet Coaster. No.
Obviously, you'd get it on PC if you were gonna get it.
That would make sense. But no, I have got Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 installed though.
That's a wonderful game.
It's a great game. It was free on Epic Games a couple of weeks ago or something. I was like, I love that because that's a great game.
The thing that I really like about this is the how everything just sort of basically works. I had a little bit of trouble connecting some paths in terms of entrance and exits with the way that you can adjust the terrain, because this has got a full-blown terrain editor where you can, you can build roller coasters that go down like subterranean
underground.
It's really cool, but it's intuitive stuff. Like if you put a Burger Shack down, then it'll draw the path. If it'll lock onto the nearest path and put the sort of queue line in. And if that's up on a hill, then it'll put steps in. And if it's down, then it'll put a ramp in and stuff.
Oh,
it sort of does all that stuff on its own.
Yeah.
And that makes it really quite intuitive. And that's what you need when people are predominantly going to be playing on a controller. So yeah, there you go, buddy. That's my big old list.
It's been getting
games.
Tucked in these past
Fucking
couple
right.
of weeks.
Yeah, I've been. I'm going to be doing rather a lot of moving and decorating in the next week or two. So I thought I'd have a little binge of video games for the week before I moved, and there it is. Nice. That is the result of that.
Well, I'm going to be playing games because I got a new TV.
Yeah,
so I'll be wanting to play games. I've installed Until Dawn. That's the scary one, isn't it?
That's going to look cool, man, on that
thing.
I
thought so. But I'm going to play that.
Good one to play with the missus.
Yeah. I'm going to put my big boy pants on.
Yeah, me and the missus went all the way through that. It's just like a movie. It's really fun.
Yeah, I'm going to be scared.
It's really good.
What else did I install? I can't remember. Other things. I went through our entire list of games. I was like, oh, I haven't played that. Oh, Control. I installed that as well.
Oh, that'll look nice as well.
Yeah, because that's a game that I've really wanted to play, but never have. But, now that we're not buying any games, I'm like, oh, I should
Well, you
play
might as well play
games.
Control now, because the way they've gated the...
Oh, God, yeah.
We won't be buying it for PS5. So
no. God, no. Anyway. Yeah.
If anyone... I don't think we actually reported on that at the time, but this is something Remedy and Co decided on this. So the originally Control was going to be playable on the PS5, instead of it just being something that runs natively and just works. In their infinite wisdom, and who's the publisher? Is it Activision that's Remedy? I want to get this right because I want to give them some shit.
Do it, buddy. Make it work.
505. 505. Okay,
guys.
So rather than just giving you a free upgrade if you own Control on PS4, they've released a Game of the Year edition, which they only launched about 6 to 8 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone who got the original Control, they don't get an upgrade. It won't work on PS5. The only version of the game that will work on PS5 is the Game of the Year edition. So anyone who, all of the loyal people that bought it at launch and all of the people who've bought it subsequently, fuck all of them. You're expected, if you want to play it on your new PS5, you're expected to play it again. Yeah, at full price as well, because it's a new release.
Release.
I really hope no one who is listening to this who has already bought Control buys it again. Is all
Why
I'm
would
saying.
you?
Because that fuck them, and that game's not that good. It's
Oh.
it's
All right, mate. Well, I was looking forward to playing it.
yeah. Well, I'm sorry. It's decent. It's fun, and I enjoyed it. But it wasn't that good.
Well, if I don't enjoy it, I won't play it anymore.
Obviously, if you haven't
it.
bought that game, then maybe you'll want to for the first time, as is your right.
Indeed.
They certainly don't deserve your money, though, and you know it.
No. Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Fuckers.
No, that's a good one to play on your new telly, buddy. That's going to be nice, especially as you've got the Pro as well, so you're going to get a bit more performance than
get that performance. Yeah, Gibbons. What about old Take-Two, eh? Buying Codies.
Yeah, that's not a good thing, is it?
No.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. Do they do Rockstar and things, don't they? What else do
they're
do?
pretty evil.
They're the devil.
Codemaster's not as evil. Having said that, some could argue, and I would struggle to disagree, that Codemasters could do with a kick up the arse in terms of, they keep releasing games that are a little bit half baked that they haven't really iterated on massively. I don't know. The F1 game's great, but it's very similar to the last 5. And,
Indeed.
You do wonder if maybe they could do with a bit of a shake-up.
True. Talking about shake-ups, do you reckon that it will now be called F12K21?
No, it won't.
That would be fucking ridiculous.
That would be hilarious.
F12K21.
Only if Liberty rebranded, then it would.
Yeah, that would be fucking brilliant, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, there you go. There's some game stuff we've talked about. We haven't got much else to say. We have got a section called Other Shit, which we'll delve into now.
I love a bit of other shit. What's going on with other shit?
Console news first, and none of this is because I'm upset about not getting a PS5 tomorrow. So firstly, Microsoft has come out and said that there will be huge shortages for both the Series X and Series S, and these will likely continue well into next year, probably until at least April.
Cool.
So
that's great news.
So no one can get that.
No.
Meanwhile, Sony pointlessly forks out to rebrand London tube stations and put signs up everywhere in London, including outside the Xbox store on Oxford Circus. All of these places are closed. No one's in London. There's a pandemic at the moment, but they've still done this, Sony. They've rebranded a load of tube stations for a console launch happening when nobody is allowed to leave their homes. For a console nobody can buy because it's out of stock everywhere.
There's no stock.
And I don't know if you can think of a more video games industry fucking thing than a new console launching during a worldwide health crisis where the entirety of a city is completely locked down so nobody can attend, but they go ahead anyway for a console that no one can buy because they've been sold out since the day pre-orders began 2 months ago. That's pretty video gamesy, isn't it? Is that not the most video gamey thing you've ever heard in your life? How must other industries look at this industry? They must be laughing their fucking arses off or extremely resentful because these people seem to be making rather a lot of money despite clearly being complete fucking crazy bastards.
They love it.
So there you go.
Yeah, well, let me just... There we go. That's... I don't know if you're looking at the pod notes, buddy. I'll just put a picture in there.
Oh, what's this?
Yeah, I believe it's a Greg's PlayStation 5 crossover.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Where it says the future is tasty, and it's got the, obviously, triangle, circle, X and square, but, it's got a pasty, some sausage rolls, a donut, and a sandwich.
Yep. I mean, at least that's a business that is open at the moment.
That's true, but there you go. There's another pointless thing that Sony have done, I believe. Yeah.
They got a lot of money to spend. They don't know what to do with it all.
Yeah, well, hey ho.
Maybe they should have spent that on a
Making
slightly larger
consoles.
SSD. I don't know.
Oh, but, yeah. Maybe. Good point, buddy.
Maybe that. So yeah, there you go. There's your next gen news. As we've said repeatedly, we are excited for the next gen, and we will be picking up consoles. And anyone who's buying one at launch, we will be paying the same thing that you have in terms of price. So we're not being fucking smart,
lucky
clever
you
dicks about
for
it.
getting one. Really,
yeah, fair play to you.
Congratulations.
And, enjoy, and we'll be along in a while.
Oh yeah, we'll get there, buddy. Don't you worry.
Someone who is jumping in, someone who should have their PS5 delivered tomorrow, is friend of the podcast, Paul, and he was sent a Stadia for free this week because he's a YouTube Premium member.
Google have started chucking these out to their premium subscribers.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I can't think why. This is. I asked him for a bit of a breakdown on his experience with Stadia. He's always, like we have, assumed that there's probably still going to be sort of too much latency issues that this could be a viable replacement for a console at this stage. Although we all agree that it is the future of gaming, and I personally think that it's highly likely that the sort of 7-year cycle, by the time we get to sort of 2027. It's probably time to ditch the hardware under your telly and stream. I think we'll be there, at least in most Western countries. We will be. Anyway, friend of the podcast, Paul's take on Google Stadia. Stadia is getting desperate. They sent me one for free because I'm a YouTube Premium member. Suppose I'll test the negative latency before selling it.
Because that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. He says it came with 3 months of Stadia Pro, which has free games. I played Destiny 2 on my phone yesterday, and it seemed incredibly responsive, so it might be excellent. It also came with a Chromecast Ultra that I might keep anyway, actually. Thanks very much, Google.
I'd keep that. They're like 40 quid, aren't they? They're like... Yeah, go on then. Nice.
So then he tested it a bit more, and he said... There's still not many games on there at all, really, and they're not cheap. Obviously much cheaper than PlayStation games, but not cheap enough. And Google will probably cancel it soon, as they tend to like doing things like that. And then what happens to the games you bought? That's a very good point.
They're gone.
They're gone, yeah. So
because you're not buying the game, you're buying a license for the game.
Yeah, exactly. And he's quite right. Google have had a bit of a habit of being like, no, we're done with that, and fuck it.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
And then he said, Destiny 2 is flawless, running at 4K 60 on my telly through the Chromecast. Not a hint of lag at all. And that's with the Chromecast on Wi-Fi and not Ethernet. Very, very impressive.
Nice.
Essentially pointless, as there are so few games to play, but I might keep hold of it just in case some good games come out on Stadia that don't on PlayStation. So there you go.
It's a good shout. Good alternative.
For the record, friend of the podcast, Paul, I did ask him what his connection was. He's got 100 meg Virgin broadband connection, and he said that if you moved away from then you would run into problems.
Yeah.
But provided everything was relatively close to the router or you were hardwired, then he didn't really notice any latency. He specifically said, we were talking about it on game night, he specifically said he and we would have absolutely no idea. If you walked into the room or if you started playing it, you would have no idea it was streamed at all.
Yeah, that's
no
cool.
clue.
Good.
So yeah, works really well, but complete lack of support. Relatively expensive in that you need a subscription and to buy the games.
Yeah, and then buy the games on top.
Yeah, when you're just sort of streaming them.
But the whole point of the subscription is you don't have to buy a £400 box under your TV.
Yeah, and that's a fair point. If it works properly for you and you haven't got any sort of bandwidth restrictions, then could be a viable option, especially as time passes and there's more stuff coming out with the new gen of consoles. There'll inevitably be more games that find their way onto Stadia, and they're certainly pushing it heavily on the TV. I see adverts for it all the time. So yeah, we'll see, I suppose. But yeah, it went from someone who thought it was hilarious that they were sending them out for free because of how desperate that they were getting to, I think I'll sell some of it, but maybe I won't sell all of it, to actually, no, I'm going to keep it because it's very good. So fair play. And that should be heartening to people. And thanks very much, friend of the podcast, Paul.
Gibbons, that guy. Thank you.
Gibbons. That's it for me, buddy. Have you got anything else for us this week?
Well, over the past couple of weeks, we've had an influx of views on one of our YouTube videos.
Oh,
I was amazed. We had like 350 views on one of our podcasts. Then I noticed that the name of that podcast was the JfG podcast episode, whatever it is, Boy Strokes Girl. I was like, oh, okay. And then it made me wonder, I wonder what other of our videos have had high views or the highest views. Now, some of your Pez ones have done pretty well, of your silly goals, which is nice. I mean, by well, I'm talking in, like 200 odd. Nothing really amazing because,
No. But they're not much of a commitment. They're like 1 minute videos max, most of those. So
Gibbons. And, it's not like we make loads of video content. We just pipe this out every week or two or whatever. And anyway, yeah. So Boy Strokes Girl was number 1. Number 2 was Shoe Town. I was like, okay.
Shoe Town. Okay.
Yeah, bit of a shoe fetish maybe going on there. And then number 3, Tighty Whities. Obviously, people
and again,
after
maybe
the pants.
Yeah. Got some wrong ones.
I'm getting a theme there out of those 3 videos. Where it's
Yeah.
People are just weird on the internet, I guess.
I guess so. I think that's been the case since the very beginning, to be honest.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's full of weirdos. But yeah. We're on YouTube, if you didn't know. I'm going to be doing more streaming soon, when I have my new TV and everything set up. I'll be streaming some games. They'll be on there. If you want to watch them, you can. If not, whatever. If you want to join in, have a chat with me, do that. Or don't. Whatever.
Very nice too. Yeah, we got the YouTube. We're on the Twitch as well there. The JFG podcast. Just give it a search. And we've got our website, the jfgpodcast.co.uk, which you can head over to as well. We've got stuff on there like Street Beat and a list of all the podcasts, and you can just hit play and listen to them. It's magical.
It's incredible.
Futuristic sort of thing.
Yeah, for some reason Spotify only lists the past 10 episodes, and I can't be asked to fix it. So, I mean, you wouldn't really want to listen to any of the old stuff anyway. It's terrible, and also
I certainly wouldn't advise it.
So yeah, there you go.
Well,
yeah,
that's it.
That's a podcast, mate.
Someone mentioned Game of the Year the other day, and it got me thinking about what my Game of the Year would be, and then I realised quite obvious actually what it is. I won't say now, but a lot of people peddling around ideas such as like Ghost of Tsushima and that sort of thing, and I was like, no, it's not that.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
It's not that. No.
Bug Snacks.
No. Well, I can't possibly say of what I've played, I suppose, but yeah, I realised that was something that I'm going to have to think about. And I've played quite a few games this year, quite a lot of new ones because of Gamepass, so I've probably got a decent collection to choose from. But yeah, that's going to be fun.
I can't even remember games. Oh, Last of Us Part 2, that came out. That would not be my Game of the Year. Spoiler.
No. Yeah. Well, we won't talk about that. Otherwise, we won't have anything to talk about then.
I'll wait until you make a list of all the games we've played this year, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that one. That one.
Yeah.
That's normally how I do it.
F1's got to be up there, innit? F1's got to be up there.
It's been a great year for F1 this year.
Very good F1 this year. Oh, well. Anyway, lots to ponder there. If you're getting your new console, stroke have already got your new console, then fucking congratulations. Hope you're really enjoying that. And
let us know.
Would love to hear from you. And yeah, we got the Discord. You can come and find us. The link to it's on YouTube, Twitch, and our website. Head over to Discord and get involved. We'd love to hear your experiences with the new system, both positive and negative, the stuff that you've been amazed by, and whatever's going on with that rest mode thing on PS5 that I keep hearing about. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah. Let us know, buddy.
I'm just looking at our videos. The 4th podcast, when a child is born.
Yes.
Yeah.
Classic content from us there.
There we go. Oh, that was a good one. That was
Very
episode
nice.
48. 4 years ago.
We were younger and bright-eyed, and no, we were basically the same as we are now.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. Well, there you are. I'm out of here, and so are you.
I'm going. Bye.
Let's fucking go. Thanks for listening, buddies. We'll catch you next time. Until then, I've been Alex. He has been Ash.
Goodbye.